So have it right up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in. Hope everyone is doing well winning life. First and foremost, I want you all to smash to piece that like button. If you haven't smashed it, smash it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. We've got the notification bell, ding dong, let's have it right. So you know when we go live. And we've got the Minerals FC Ultras membership down below in the description. Salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And salute to no surrender mentality. Big up to all the Minerals FC Ultras, have it right. So Chelsea 3, Tunis 0. Let's get straight into it. I've had a hell of a day, bruv, and a very late evening, as you can imagine. But we're going to do a quick review and touch upon everything that's circulating with the brown envelopes. But first and foremost, we beat them 3-0. I didn't have any doubt in my mind that we'll win this game, and I did say that on the stream last night. But again, we have to look at the quality and level of opposition. So that's what makes me think I had no doubts of us winning. We have won 3-0. How did it come about? I want to get straight into the first and foremost, most important thing, which is a team lineup. So have it right. So Chelsea team lineup, Jorgensen in goal, no Sanchez, Gusto, Tozin, Badashile, Josh Atkinpong as right back, Gusto as left back. What are we doing here? Lavia, Enzo in the midfield, Drewsbury Weddinall right wing, Mudueke left, and Nkunku and Delap. I mean, was Drewsbury Weddinall playing on the right? That's what they kind of PR'd. He's on the right, but I personally think he was playing that 10 role. We saw no Cole Palmer, no Casado. Reece James ill, apparently. No Sanchez, thank God for that. But we saw Christopher Nkunku, who we've been told is surplus to requirements, yet he's been taken, and Petrovic ain't. We, again, haven't seen Andre Santos start a game in the Club World Cup. We've had the PR that he needs to ease in, he needs to understand the system, yet all the Chelsea supporters can blatantly see we don't even know what the system is and what the style of play is. All we know is that he's an inverted merchant. That's what we do know. And he's a rotation merchant. The weather, the fatigue, everyone's seen that the sniffer dogs at the game, they're wearing Crocs. Very, very typical of the culture out there. What are we doing here? Poor little doggies, eh? No, German Shepherds, they bite, bruv. They bite. They're vicious, so have it right. But they don't look it wearing Crocs, do they? What a madness, bruv. But anyway, that's the lineup. And you go, why is Santos not playing now? Everyone's got an obsession with Andre Santos. And I made this point, that what do you expect? Do you expect Andre Santos to be starting for Chelsea? Because you ain't going to get that if you've got Enzo Fernandez and Casado, who are the first team players. Lavia is definitely in there. So that means there's no room for Andre Santos. Andre Santos has said, I want to play first team football. I want to win at Chelsea. We've heard that with Petrovic, but he seems to be getting shipped out. Let's have it right. And he wants to play football because he's got the World Cup. And he wants to get into the World Cup team. Let's have it right. Well, what are we doing here? Why is he not playing in this game? Why are we playing Drewsbury Weddinall? Why? The guy was up for sale in January and he's up for sale now. I just, honestly, it's not like we're playing a high-level opposition. Let him play. Let's see what he's about. But before we get on to how he was in the game, let's start off with the game. Tunis had a few good openings. They cut into us, and it was a little bit shaky. And then we started to take control. We had a cross, and it was a header wide. But then we got a set piece taken by Enzo Fernandez, and Tozin was the one to slot it home just before half time. So Enzo Fernandez bags his assist, and we go 1-0 up, and you think, yeah, we're going to cruise it, bruv. And then straight after that, literally a minute later, so it was 43 and then 45 minutes, Enzo Fernandez plays a dink ball into Delap, who's still got a man on him, turns his man, goes past another one and places it on the ground, not in the right, but sort of away from the goal. He was left in no man's land. A lovely goal from Linda. Got his first goal. Respect to him. It's quite refreshing to see a striker do striker things, because we've had Jackson for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? and all he wants to do is get red carded because he probably knows he wants to be sold. And apparently, you know, they're pushing, they want 60 million euros for Jackson. Yeah, all right, have a day off. You ain't getting that. He ain't worth that. And if he is worth that, why are you selling him? What are we doing here? But Liam Delap got his goal. It's PR'd by Gil, brown envelope. Oh, he hasn't decided what his celebration is. And that he's open to ideas, and maybe you can communicate it with us. So when we next see him, we can see. Is that to create a trademark for the clowns like they did with Cole Palmer's celebration, trademarking that and image rights? Maybe they're doing that with Liam Delap. We've earned 28 million up to now in the competition. Very happy the clowns are. They're very, very happy with that profit. And that pays for Delap. Wow, fantastic. Cheap deal, 30 million, and we pay for Delap. We've got a striker. Is he going to lead us to the Premier League and Champions League? Let's have it right. That remains to be seen. You know, we're not going for proven elite players, so we have to wait for players to develop. But lovely goal by Liam Delap. Respect to him. He smashed it, bruv. Absolutely smashed it. And I'm very happy for the kid because now he's broken his duck. And I hope this number 9 curse is just in the bin because we got no choice, but he's our star striker. So we have to rely upon him. He's got to bag 20, 25 goals next season. I ain't here to just get top 4 in a domestic trophy. I want to win. But Enzo Fernandez, lovely, gets his 2 assists. And then we go into second half. I think Nkunku wasn't very good. He shouldn't even be there. Madueke playing on the left, anonymous. Drewsbury Hall, not good enough. Lavia got a cameo. Akinpong had a blinder yesterday, played very, very accomplished on the right side. Versatile. No surprise, he's Cobham, isn't he? You know, it didn't cost a penny, but they'll get a pound note out of him, that's for sure. Badashile, I mean, should be. Uncle Tosin got his goal. Fair play. He dinked it in. And Gusto had an absolute stinker on the left. All right. And he's played out of position. So what do you expect? Jorgensen got his clean sheet. Fair play. And then we go into second half and he makes the changes. He takes off Enzo Fernandez and brings on Andre Santos. We get Tyreek George. Our Tyreek George come on. Fantastic. Very happy. And Andre Santos had a cameo. Did give the ball away a lot. Looked a bit rusty. But there's one thing with Andre Santos. Everyone's desperate and wants him to play, and we want to see what he's about. But is he ready? Is he really ready? Like, what are we doing here? Because there's one thing playing for Strasbourg. No pressure, no expectation from the fan base. They want Bluco out. And then coming to a club like Chelsea that the supporters demand to win now, and we want to win the major honours. Yeah? That's the standards. I'm not going into phase 4 not having those standards. I've had these standards from day one as Roman Abramovich left them. And everyone's in acceptance of these standards. And well, not me. And I get labelled negative for it. Well, let's have it right. You need to give Andre Santos time to develop. Enzo Maresca's come out and saying, I have to make sure he fits and understands the system. He needs to bed in. He's not going to start over the players we got. So he's going to be a bench player. But I have to question, right? Enzo Maresca's saying we need to rotate players, all right? And Enzo Maresca's going to have to do that next season because, well, we're playing a lot of competitions. And one of them is not a conference league. It's the Champions League. Can you afford, with the squad we got, to put a lineup like you did last night to play Champions League football because we're playing Premier League games with our first teamers? Or vice versa. So you're going to risk your position in Premier League to play Champions League football and play your best players. He's got no choice. He loves to rotate, but what's he rotating with? We've got a stockpile of players that we've got 20 of them on the for sale list. They're all going to get exiled. And why is Trev not playing? Like, listen, at the end of the day, all right, it's the same old traits every season. And everyone's demanding Santos to be put in and they're getting all giddy about it. But I don't think he's ready, bruv, from what I've seen anyway. I don't think he's ready for the levels to step up. I'm going into next season wanting to win the Premier League. You know, we've spent we're going up to 2 billion. We will be going to 2 billion by the end of the window, more than likely. We spent 1.6 plus, right? And our front three is potentially Kittens, Mudueke, Tyreek George, Neto with Delap. You've spent all that money, and that's what you're serving me up. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. You can go through the defence, you can go through the goalkeepers. Eduardo Mendy, who won us Champions League, let's have it right, came out and said about him joining Saudi. He says he didn't join Saudi for money, he joined it for trophies. He felt Chelsea wouldn't win as much and is proud to be a trailblazing goalkeeper in African football. Let's have it right. He said he's no longer the case at Chelsea to win trophies. He could see it. Eduardo Mendes would still be our best goalkeeper, and he's not there. And he won us Champions League. Blinder. Wonderful keeper, bruv. Yeah, proper. But let's have it right. That just tells you about what happened behind the scenes where players are saying, you know, I'm not going to win things here. I want to win. So we are served up young players who need development. Why is it that Enzo Maresca has to rotate, justifying it, but Man City changed 10 players and won 6-0? No excuses. 10 players, you know. Man City are flying, bruv. Probably my favourites for the competition, if I'm being real. It's not good enough. This is not a great squad. And then we're getting Chelsea maintain their price for Nicholas Jackson. When Chelsea called for Ekitike, the answer was 100 million euros. I'm not saying Jackson is the same, but Chelsea would want important money. Impossible for Italian clubs to do it for those current conditions. Chelsea won't sit at the table for 40 million, will they? Well, they better, because they need that money to go back in the market. So have it right. You know, they have to. They've got no choice. But going back to Santos, Enzo Maresca says on Santos' omission from the Chelsea 11, he's working well, but he needs to understand how we play. It's the same for all the new ones. It's important for them to continue in the way that they are working to get opportunities. Well, Delap doesn't need that. Obviously, he's from City Academy. Most players we're buying or targeting are from City's Academy. Let's have it right. But because of the win, we're going to play Benfica because Bayern Munich lost yesterday. And we're playing Benfica, which is not an easy game, but obviously Enzo Fernandez will be playing his former club at 6 months where he was there and said he was going to stay and then got sold. Well, chose to join Chelsea 2 days later or 3 days later. This is going to be interesting. Rui Costa and all them wrong-uns. But don't worry, Siri Merchant got on his jet to save the day, didn't he? Like he always does, because he makes every decision in the transfer window. But it's come out when news broke last week that Chelsea were still interested in Garnacho. The hashtag no to Garnacho was trending on X. Interesting that they pick up that Kieran Gill's the brown envelope flavour of the month or the day, should I say, to put out. That's the influence of YouTubers, the influence of Twitter accounts to make things go trending, isn't it? So if you've got the capability to trend no to Garnacho, then you've got capability to call Blueco out, get the directors out. But you don't do that. Instead, use your platforms to recycle and push the narratives pushed by the elite brown envelopes that are being used by Blueco. And that's why Chelsea are where they are. And that's why I call you lot out. Let's have it right. It says Chelsea's higher-ups will take no notice of social media hashtags, but they do take character into account when assessing signings. Yeah, they said Cherky had an attitude problem, but Pep doesn't seem to think so, buying him for 35 million. Well, Pep's the benchmark. City are. They're using luncheon vouchers to buy, go in the market, but they're getting elite players. What are we doing here? But they got no interest. They don't care what you lot say. They make out they care what you lot say, but they don't. They do what they have assigned themselves to do with the Blueco blueprint of profit making. And Garnacho is the perfect player for them. Carrington Winstanley's favourite little signing that he wants to make. And the red flags are there. We'll ask Alex Goldfish, mate, because maybe they're not taking his advice. Maybe his advice means nothing. So have it right. Maybe he's just an ITK pawn. That's what he is and wants to be. And that's all they are. They're nothing else. Their opinions are worthless. They're narrative setters. They're brown envelopes. They're sellouts. Garnacho would be our best winger, and that tells you about the state of what we have bought, and that's the reality. And I don't even rate the kid. I don't rate him. I don't want him. I don't want the baby lurch with Gillette zebra eyebrows, bruv. I don't want his attitude. He's got a shit attitude, but it doesn't stop these clowns from wanting to buy him because he fits the mold and they might be able to trade in Kunku. So it is what it is. Kittens, Dortmund are demanding 55 million. They're not going to budge. Bayern Munich are interested. Bayern Munich are heavily interested in Andre Santos, as is PSG. It's going to be interesting. What if they sell Andre Santos and everyone's going to have a meltdown? You're all right with us not signing Mike Maitland because we've got big Mike Penders, but also we've got Petrovic. Stick with Petrovic, but he's getting flogged. So what's the process? What's the model? Are we actually going to wait for players to develop or not? And how are we supposed to build with a manager? The manager's a yes man anyway, he ain't got to say. So we're in the same situation of the usual waffle. I'm done with it. Now everyone's saying Josh Akinpong over Gusto. But you told us Gusto's better than Reece James. You flip-flop. You all flip-flop. And frankly, that's why we are where we are. Every year you overhype players and then we end up looking to sell them and you don't rate them in the end and they don't deliver. We're not stable. We're not building a squad to compete, to win. It's all finances and that's all I see. There's nothing else to see. It's clear as day. Gittins is on the bench for Dortmund. Can't even start. He's not better than Madueke. Madueke's not even better than Garnacho. Right? So you can see where we're going here. It's a domino effect. Delap's not better than Osimhen or Gyökeres or Haaland. If he was, he would be at City, Arsenal and Man United, or whoever's looking at these players would be trying to sign him. That's where we are. Mike Magnan news is he's staying and he's got a future and he's going to stay and could sign a new deal and he's settled. Well, he ain't coming to Chelsea then, is he? Yeah? Brown envelopes are in the mud. Everyone's in the mud. I'm getting tired of it. Honestly, I'm getting tired of it. I'm tired of the PR. I'm tired of just the same old narratives. You know, you lot forced Trev out. You didn't give a shit. Trev got exiled, and now you all want to take pictures with Trev. Now you want to call out when I told everyone he's our best centre back, and now you want to say he's best centre back, but yet he's on the list to be sold. And now you're propaganding Josh, who doesn't play regular, because let's have it right. Enzo Maresca, he's told who to pick, bruv. They use AI to pick the team, bruv. That's why the team always changes anyway. But Josh can play everywhere, can't he? Right centre back, right back, centre midfield. He's got technical ability. He's Cobham boy. Eventually, he'll be sold. That's the reality. You know, we're not addressing. How can you go through we're in 7 transfer windows to now try and still build for the first team? It's mad to me, bruv. It is what it is. Also, Bushy Laber's announced that Pornstein's followed him on X, coincidentally. Interesting that. He's very excited about it. I've been blocked by Pornstein, on the other hand, because he gets on private jets to meet agents and players, and I called him out because he's the biggest kingpin brown envelope. Oh, man, we stand alone. What can I say? What can I say? It's what it is. But listen, we're playing Benfica. We've got to run an easy run to the semi-final, and then it starts to get interesting. And let's see how we progress. But I can't see us winning it, mate. Let's have it right. But again, they've got an opportunity. They're making the money. As Meatloaf Tout Bowley says, we're so excited to play the Club World Cup. You can win 100 million, not that we can win the trophy. So you know what the priorities are. And it is what it is. Listen, big up to everyone in here. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, put all your comments down below, and I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be streaming tomorrow, so make sure you got your noties on. Win, lose, draw, blue co out, no surrender mentality. And look, up the Chelsea, up the Mills FC. Let's have it right.